And then recently, this October 16, then 29, then 31. So I actually did not stop doing inspections around sa city, and then so many engineers called up, Sir, engineer, can you help us? Can you, naghan kay text, so flooded ka akong cellphone, and then I'm doing it one at a time, kutob sa makaya. Kanya nakita na ako, pagtawag sa ko sa city engineer of Pidapawag, who happens to be my former classmate in college, Engineer Julito Hernandez, sabi niya, Bay, can you help me? There is a Pidapawag. Ingon ako, yes, you're actually the answer to my prayer. Asa ko una mag-start. Ang Davao which is also hit by the earthquake, so dito lang sa ako nag-move. And then, ingon ako siya, sige, we'll go there. And then, Mayor Evangelista also talk to me, can you help in the assessment, especially we would like to maintain order and to expedite decision making in public places like the markets, the hospitals. So we did that immediately. So nakita na ako, wala kaya ko'y undang. I cannot do this alone, so I have to multiply myself, and the best way to multiply myself is to gather as many civil engineers and even non-engineers who have this technical understanding. And so, nag-conduct may immediately katong Monday, nag-conduct tayo may o kanang training for all the engineers na makadungog, and then since we don't have a place, so dito sa amo ang warehouse, so many arrived there from Kidapawan, from Butuan, from Cotabato, from Bukidnon, from Cagayan. So nagtapok dito, I was only expecting about mga 20 people lang sa invitation lang. And then nag-blow dito, naabot may mga 110 participants. So dito may sama ang warehouse nag-conduct sa training. And then immediately after that, natingala ko, naghinay-hinay naman na may mga dagko kay mga camera na nulod dire. So, ang media na dito, ang ABS-CBN, ang UNTV, ang GMA. So, interview after interview. So, nagsulti dito nga, Sir, pwede ka ba mag-fast lecture lang para ikuha na to sa mga tao para makatabang? So, sige, we will do this in a very non-technical way para masabtan sa mga tao, para sila mismo, kung wala pa yung mga engineers gani, they will be able to see kung safe pa po yan ang ilahang balay. And so, ako po, wala ko kabaloon sang value ato. And then, naka-receive na lang ko sa Facebook, nag-viral na ito. So, praise the Lord. Nagandang matabangan, ani. And then, later on na po, pwede ba, second round, interview na po, GMA na po. Sige. Pero, muadto sa ako, Digos, kay, ang kuan dito, ang provincial capital, nag-request po sila ang city engineers. So that's why we were really very busy. And then I'm so thankful si Ed Sullivan and Melchor, they were contacting me in Facebook, Sir, pwede ba dito sa Kidapawan? Again, gikan mo ko Kidapawan, pero ingon ako, Kidapawan is one of the most severely hit cities by this recent earthquake. So din na kay Ed, sige, you just gather people, whoever will attend, and then just look for a place. And then si Melchor, isulti siya sa ako nga Notre Dame Kidapawan will be helping this, and I'm really happy na with this event si brother sa president natin ng Kidapawan really hosted this because we really need a gathering area, and so here I am now. So sunod-sunod yun siya, and I hope akong hangyo lang sa tanan because we engineers, we really are at the forefront. Now, we know that after the assessment, there will be rehabilitation, there will be retrofitting, there will be repair. So, again, there will be revenues for those who will be attending, and we can use this. But since I am giving this freely, pro bono, my gasoline, my time, and everything, wala ko na return I just want to help equip fellow engineers so that we will be able to multiply ourselves, and along the way during the repairs or whatever recommendation or any benefit you can do with that, we can just do this later. So ako ang advocacy is to really encourage each one of us na when we register, there is already that commitment to serve wherever we are and whatever capacity, whether you're in the government sector or in the private sector, to really go, even among your neighbors. You can say, this is unsafe, level 1 is yan, level 2, level 3 category, then next step, para daghan matabangan as much as possible. And that is only the commitment that I'd like you to do. So, are you with me? If you are with me, kindly raise your hands.
Yes, sir.
Ayan, salamat. So, brother, nakita niyo po, ang daming nagko-commit. So, yung mga registration ninyo, the other day, I was talking with Dole and they made a composite team na mag-i-inspect ng mga buildings with PICE, with IIEE, with the Bureau of Fire, with the DILG. So, ang daming ginagawa doon and we cannot wait na mag-gather pa yung Region 12, no, where Kidapawan is part of. But Region 11 is already starting with that. So sabi ko, sige, you just go there, but we will have to strike the iron while it's hot. So yun lamang po ang natin dito. Yun lamang po ang aking advocacy. And because we are in the first stage, no, we are in the first level of primary objective is really to help people understand how to assess the building. That's why we do this rapid. So dapat mabilis. Ibig sabihin, when we do a rapid assessment, there is already a decision. So the decision there is for the owners of the building, whether government owned siya or privately owned. So the decision is whether the building is safe for occupancy or not. That's the only thing that we need to do. Those things that will follow, like detailed assessment, repair, reconstruction, or retrofitting, it will just follow later. Because there are stages or levels of recommendation that we're going to do. And for engineers, because we are technical people, and even non-engineers who are medyo engineer din na mag-isip, we call it ME, moral engineer or medyo engineer, you are welcome here, no? Because we really need as many people or as many hands as possible. Okay? So, magsugod na ta. Okay? So, the rapid assessment, si Melchor nagsulti sa kung I was a teacher, that's why my best friend is really a whiteboard and to make myself easily understood. So, ang rapid assessment na to, there will always be 3 levels lang. Okay? Remember, the question or the main question is the building safe for occupancy or not? Okay? So, the easy question is yes or no. But there are times that there are answers with yes, but with some conditions. Okay? So, yun yung mga dapat nating tingnan. It's so easy to say yes. Now, for those of you na medyo alanganin siya, okay, doon tayo sa pag-uusapan natin yung alanganin. Okay? So, ngayon, ano yung 3 levels of assessment, 3 levels of results? So rapid assessment tayo, no? I will write bigger, para makita nung nasa likod. And thank you if you will video it and then share it to as many friends as possible. So, rapid assessment. And by the way, I will not talk in yung continuous siya. We will put this, we will have some breaks so that we will have some question and answers along the way. No? It might be technical or it might be just general, okay lang yun. Or if along the way you sense na kailangan nyo magtanong, please feel free to interrupt. Just raise your hand. No? Okay lang yun sa akin para masagot ka agad natin. So, rapid assessment. Ano itong rapid assessment? So, our question is, the question is the building safe? Okay, safe for occupancy. That's the question. No? Is the building safe for occupancy? So generally, the answer is yes or no lang. Okay. Now, hindi naman yun lahat pwedeng yes. Meron namang yes and a little bit of no. Or, on the other extreme is no, definitely. So, ang tatlong level ng answer natin, or we'll just say, level 1. Okay? So this is safe. So this is yes, safe for. So instead of saying occupancy, because it is a post-earthquake event, so we'll say re-occupancy. Okay, so safe for re-occupancy. And level 2, or you can just say class 2, class 1, whatever. So I'll just use level 2. So level 2 is yung hindi gaano safe. But we will say that entry with caution. Okay? Meaning may pag-iingat. Entry with caution. Okay? And level 3, ito yung pinaka ayaw natin na sagot, no? Which is off limits. Okay, so off limits. Okay, so speaker. Baka gusto niyo dyan. Sa gitna, sir, baka gusto mo para makita to. Okay lang sa akin. Okay, dito. Sige. So anyway, so again, ano yung una? Basahin natin lahat so that everybody can see. Safe for reoccupancy. Second, entry with caution. And then level 3 is off limits. So what are these 3 levels? Okay, pag sinabi natin safe for occupancy, so those telltale signs of damage of the buildings are not present. Hindi mo ito nakikita. So when we say telltale signs, we have to validate those things, and I will talk about that a bit later. And then, entry with caution, meron siyang levels of damage. There are levels of damage in the structure, but you can still enter with caution. So, to enter with caution, it means to say that you can enter for some reasons, but not to occupy and use it as a normal building. Just like what we have here. So I did a rapid assessment kagad before I started to stand here in front of you kasi napakarami dito. Titingnan natin kung safe pa kagad. So I looked at the columns, so mabuti. So pumasa siya. So we have looked at the place to be safe for the occupancy. So dapat we relax ourselves. Nakita na natin to dito, no? So ang entry with caution, ito yung sinasabi natin na you get inside but you do not sleep, you do not eat, you do not function with your, if it is a building like a classroom or an office. So hindi tayo papasok doon. We should not enter there, but we can go there to get our valuables, okay? To get the important things, to remove yung mga bagay na importante, or another reason is to assess in detail, structural assessment in detail. And another reason is if there is already a program of assessment, gagawin yung repair or retrofitting. So dito, ito yung sinasabi natin na what we do is entry with caution, okay, to get valuables, okay. The other one is to do assessment or do detailed evaluation. Okay, and then the other one is to repair or retrofit or strengthening. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-general na natin na activity. When you enter, you have to get your valuables, okay, because it's possible there are falling hazards. and then do detailed evaluation when you have engineers already to do assessment, to do some measurements, take some specific photos, and then later on to do a repair, retrofit, or what we call re-strengthening, to bring back the building to its original design intention. Okay, ganyan. Okay, then the off-limits, ito na yung sinasabi natin. This is now, okay, one. By the way, before I go to the off-limits, ito siya, this is also saying that it should not be functioning open to the public. Like for example, if example, this room, meron siya itong mga telltale signs that is a level 2 classification. So not everybody should get in, but those people who have a business in getting the valuables, who will do the detailed evaluation, and who will do the repair, retrofitting. So hindi pwede na kahit sino yung papasok kasi magkakagulo yun. So dapat pipiliin lang din. So ang level 3, it is now off limits. Now it is going to be partially, if the building is not totally damaged, but there are some portion. So partial demolition, okay, or total demolition. Okay, total demolition. And then there are times that the building is not totally damaged. Maybe 50% is still repairable, and the other portions are for demolition. So this will also be having a repair, okay, and retrofit. Okay, let's give some examples here. So initially, 2 days, I think during the November 1 and 2 holidays, we were here in Kidapawan. 2 araw kami umikot dito, no? But we did some inspection. So example, so when we entered the hospital, yung malaking hospital, I forgot the name, yung dyan, Madonna. Yeah, Madonna. Okay, so when we entered there, so we have these telltale signs. So nakita namin to, okay, may mga crack columns, may mga crack na beams, may mga falling hazards. Then we declared it. Of course, I am not declaring it. I am recommending to the city engineer's office that the structure is level 2. So meaning you will only use it to get valuables, to do detailed evaluation, or to do repair, retrofit, and re-strengthening. Merong nakita doon. So it's not for demolition. Now, another example for a level 3 is what made Kidapawan very famous, the Eva Hotel. So when we were talking with in the command center with the mayor, with the city engineer's office, and even with the owner, so we were discussing now because there is now a total collapse of the ground floor. So you will see there that the ground floor has totally collapsed. So that means the building needs to be totally demolished. So we were now planning on the sequence of the controlled demolition so that it will be safer for the demolition team. It should not be using so many manpower, but heavy usage of equipment. So that is what we're going to do. So yun yung tinatawag nating off limits. So there will be repair, total demolition, and partial demolition. But there are other buildings, I forgot the name. So we inspected yung National High. We did not go there because it's off limits. We inspected Kidapawan National High School. So are there people from the DepEd here? Ay, ayun. Okay, si ma'am. Ayan, ay. Nice to see you again, ma'am. No, naagid ka din rin. No? Bisan sa education siya. So we saw some buildings there. I think nasa likod, somewhere on the side. So 3 buildings out of 6 yata, ma'am, no? So we found out that there are buildings that are in the level 2 already. So we advise that there's not going to be any students will be using the structure, and advise na mo sila na kailangan, because it's under the DPWH, there has to be some decision that should be done urgently because a stitch in time saves 9, or prevention is always better than cure. Naman yun na. Kung delay ho mo ang action, then the cancer will be terminal stage instead of stage 1 pala. So wala na kayo mahimo. No? So that's what we are now doing. So those are the things. Okay, so klaro ni sa inyo, no? So we can now answer immediately, mga engineers or even non-engineers here. When we have this validation, our answer is only level 1, 2, or 3. Safe for reoccupancy, entry with caution, and off limits. And all of these things, kami naka-bracket there, are just recommendations. Now, you can add to these recommendations, like if there are falling hazards, may mga kisaming murag nagbitay na ready to fall, so those are hazards, or there are walls that are exploded. I'll explain it, why it explodes, and then what are the hazards. So those are the additional recommendation, even if it is in level 1. If it is safe for occupancy, isa na yung hazards kumay, make a recommendation that's okay, ready na siya tanggalon, but you can reoccupy the building. Now let's validate and go a little bit technical. What are the things that we need to see in these structures? Okay, so can I erase this? Yes. Okay. Yes. So I will discuss a little of how a building behaves during an earthquake. Okay, so I think everyone has a first-hand experience of an earthquake. Now, when an earthquake happens, let's go a little outside engineering. Ato lang tag geology and seismology lang kamay. When a structure is closer to an epicenter, okay, when it's close to an epicenter, the rupture, specifically on the October 31, so where the depth of the focus. So ang focus, it tells us the distance of the energy release from the surface of the earth. So the closer is that of the surface of the earth, the more vertical vibrations will be experienced near the epicenter. So what is the epicenter? Let's make a curve, an exaggeration, the surface of the earth. So if this is the release of the energy, we call that the focus. Okay? Above that, to the surface of the ground, we call that the epicenter. So you will always hear this in use from the phi books. But for us to understand, the focus is the location of the explosion. Okay? And this is in terms of kilometers. The deeper the focus, the less felt the earthquake consequences are. The shallower the focus, mas grabe yung mararamdaman nating pagyanig. Now, the last focus that we have, okay, they said it is in Tulunan. That is very close. It's about 16 to 20 kilometers from the Kidapawan area. And the focus is about 2 kilometers lang. Okay? October 16, medyo paiba-iba yung ano nila, it's in 15 kilometers, so it's deeper. And then on October 29, nasa 8 or 7, thereabouts. So it's getting shallower and shallower. So when the earthquake happens there, you will sense, and I think 99.9% experience a vibration that is going up and down. Para ka ginadribble like a basketball because it's already close to the surface. Okay, so that tendency now is it will shake vertically, and then as it goes, it propagates outside, it will become horizontal yung swaying niya. So Kidapawan, ang feel natin konti yung vertical component ng earthquake, then slowly swaying. Okay, so yun yung ano niya. Now the question is, how does it affect the building? Okay, we often hear earthquake do not kill people, but buildings do. Yun yung sinasabi madalas, no? But not all buildings kill people. Poorly designed and constructed buildings kill people. And that is where we civil engineers have the burden of making our structures resilient to this phenomenon. Okay, now let's draw a building. Ano ang behavior lang ng building?